Hel- Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Let's Play episode of Hades. I'm Dark Chiron, and Hades himself is really getting to me here. So,
Too pricey for me.
I accidentally saved before starting and couldn't get back it up, but I basically have gone in here and bought a bunch of stuff, basically saying that I would heal for more in certain areas, that the urns would start dropping money, and we got this thing that says we can give the contractors a break, give them a little bit of a vacation for 2 diamonds. So that'll be our next big goal to go for. However, as we learned last time, the House of Hades is under some insane turmoil. Our boy Zagreus here wants to leave the house because his mother has also left the house, and I assume his whole thing is that he would like to go and see her again. I assume she's the only loving figure in his entire world. His father doesn't seem very nice. So I think he's wanting to try and track her down, his mother, and because of that, this time around we're going to learn
family. Death is your only family. Death and I. Best to get accustomed to the both of us.
Your mustache twists in a very bizarre way, sir.
No, not on your life.
In any case, I'll rerun this a little bit because I had a little bit of a technical issue, so I know what at least the first room or two gives you.
This shield's about to get a whole lot stronger.
Yeah, special shield things. We're going to have this one after your shield attack hits. The next 2 attacks will deal 80% plus damage.
Should work.
And we have a nice Chaos Gate here.
Darkness.
You come to my domain wearing an all-seeing artifact that sprang from me after the dawn of time. It is considered a defensive instrument, I do believe. Though I suspect you have discovered, or soon shall discover, it is nothing of the sort.
Oh yeah, the shield is quite powerful, actually. And let me see if these are the same. These are not the same. These are different than when I saw. Okay. Next 3 encounters, you take more damage from traps. Afterwards, you deal more damage striking from behind. You gain extra cast. You gain 40 health max, I believe. Yeah, 40 health max. Next 3 encounters, slain foes toss inferno bombs at you. Sounds rough, but we'll go for it.
The fathomless expanses hidden in darkest corners of the underworld stretch well past the notice of Lord Hades himself. And yet, the interfering prince somehow discovers passage there.
It's wild.
Wasn't all that hard to find, really.
Yeah, he just kind of appeared and I jumped in it. It wasn't that much anyway. Anyway, we have more weapons to unlock, so we need keys. In any case, so yeah, as I was saying, the game has introduced to us the idea of Persephone, so we shall talk about her because she actually was quite beloved in the Greek world of Greek mythology of the Greeks, and in Greek mythology she is talked about quite a lot, namely for her why she's in Hades in the first place, but also because she was a harvest goddess along with her mother Demeter. Demeter was an insanely protective mother, was very overbearing with her, and made sure that she was safe. That was basically her main concern, was trying to make sure her daughter was safe. So, with all of that in mind, they are considered to be linked to each other quite strongly. They are often talked about together in almost all the situations we're talked about in relation to harvests and fertility and things of that nature. So,
Just getting started.
they're often, that's how close their bond was together. Being that they are both harvest goddesses, they obviously are considered insanely important, what with wanting to eat food and everything. Most people consider that to be fairly important in your life, be having enough to eat. So any goddess who would help you do that would be very highly revered. In any case, because of that and because of her insane beauty, the other the male gods all desired her as a wife quite strongly. However, as I said, Demeter would not allow men around her, so they had a hard time of it. And the hardest of that was Hades, being that he was god of death. You know, goddesses of life would not want him, would not want them to marry their daughter, obviously. But unfortunately, they didn't have much of a choice.
Know that I admire your Lord Father very much, for his grim work lets me continue mine. I trust that one day you shall settle your dispute.
Most likely not. Your special inflicts doom. Take a burst of damage. Your cask sends a rift blade hurtling ahead. I like that. I like that one from last time, so we'll go with that. Yeah, I like that. I like that one last time, so we'll go with that. Anyway, so Persephone's parents were actually Demeter and Zeus, and while Demeter had an issue with Hades marrying her, Zeus did not. So he decided that he would turn a blind eye if Hades decided to just ignore Demeter and takes Persephone for his bride. So Hades shows up one day when Persephone is out in the fields collecting flowers and just kidnaps her. Again, female empowerment and female rights were not a big thing in ancient civilizations, so you could just show up and steal your wife from the house that she lived in whenever you felt like it, I guess, and that was supposed to be okay. Probably not, but in any case. So Demeter, loving her daughter very much, was insanely sad to see that she had gone, and that sadness drove her into a despair that caused her to roam the earth in search of her daughter, trying to find her. Nobody would help her out because they didn't want to they didn't want to make Hades mad, or they did, or in the case of Helios, did not want to get in the middle of the whole affair in the general. However, Demeter's sadness and wonderings unfortunately caused her to neglect all of her duties in regards to harvesting and growing crops, and because of that, the people started to starve. And at some point, Helios realized, something had to be done about the situation, so they ended up telling Demeter where Persephone had went, and that Hades had kidnapped her. Well, from here, the pomegranate becomes a very important thing.
Delicious. Extra blessing.
So, the story here kind of varies in slight ways. The traditional thing, the one that I always heard, was that Demeter had went down to Hades to try to retrieve her daughter. However, unfortunately, Demeter had eaten Persephone had eaten a couple of seeds from pomegranate while down in Hades. And as per the rules of Hades in this particular tale, if you eat food from there, you are forced to live there forever. Well, the other that one is commonly seen in the other. Man, I'm really doing badly this time around. Sorry. So this version of the tale fits with what this other pop culture actually does as well, where if you go to this mystical realm, you end up getting stuck there if you eat food there. Very often we hear this in tales that involve fairies, but they also had it in this particular version of Hades for Greek mythology. Now the other version of the tale goes that the pomegranate seeds were actually this weird food that would make it where you would desire to come back to hell. So with that in mind, Hades tricks Persephone into eating one, and because of that, when Demeter comes to get her daughter back from Hades, she informs her mother that she wants to live down there with him, and because of that, she has no choice but to accept his marriage proposal. But regardless of what happened, everyone agrees that the earth not growing crops is a bad thing, and because of that, they decide to allow Persephone to leave Hades at least some portion of the year. And because of that, this whole story ends up being a myth about why there are seasons.
It comforts me to see how far you've come, cousin, and I am confident that you shall make your way eventually. I shall look forward to our conversations then.
Yeah, so I may have took that because of the fates thing, but in any case, so yeah, so that was the explanation for why the seasons occurred, was because for the months where Persephone was living down in Hades, Demeter was sad and would not allow the crops to grow. So sucky time for everyone involved, basically. However, most of the myths seem to have this idea that eventually, regardless of which of the two that you would believe, Persephone eventually accepted her position as the Queen of Hell, and ended up actually being okay with being married to Hades. So, the story starts out a little, I don't know, but eventually, turns out Hades is not such a bad guy and is actually very kind to his wife. When he's kind to nobody else, actually.
Nix's power.
So, the story also is supposedly to reflect the idea that how do I explain this? So the Greeks, after they harvested their grains, would store them underground. So it was also supposed to be this idea that while she's underground in hell, their grain is also underground being stored. So it's kind of there's several meanings you can get from the moral of the story, I suppose. But
let's see here.
As I mentioned before, Persephone, very loved by Greeks in general. A lot of their festivals had to do with her, and I actually found out, I told you about Orphism before, which was something I wasn't aware of before I started studying for all this stuff, where they go off of the stories and the songs of Orpheus as far as mythology. They believed that she was the mother of Zagreus, along with Zeus. The Orphic people seem to really, really, really get behind anyone who has a kind of death and rebirth kind of situation going on. And Persephone has that kind of sort of, because she comes up and out of hell every year. So technically she's being reborn, since she's escaping from the afterlife.
It seems I need to look for better help.
Well, that's better.
But yeah, they also something I didn't know before. The people also had a thing where they were kind of afraid of her in her capacity as the Queen of Hell. They didn't want to say her name. They were afraid to say her name, so they had euphemisms for her. They called her the Maiden or the Mistress, which is apparently the name that they took from some old chthonic deity from way back in the day that I didn't research anything about, because I'm already trying to remember too much right now. But yeah, so they had this whole thing around her, which is very interesting, of both loving her and respecting her, but also being afraid of her in certain aspects, like her time on Earth and her time in Hell were two different people almost. But on top of that, they would also have it where they would viewed her as like the kindness in hell as well. You know, viewing Hades himself as kind of this ruthless figure that people didn't really care for that much. You know, because he's ruling hell. He's not necessarily responsible for people dying or anything of that nature, but people still treat him like he is somehow responsible.
Hey, Carol, if there happens to be something really horrible awaiting me beyond that door, then give me a sign, won't you?
There's your sign, buddy. Something horrible awaits.
Great.
But yeah, there's lots of stories about how she tempered Hades a bit and made him nicer to people, and also how he that if anyone's shown kindness in the afterlife, it's always her.
Came through for us after all, did he? Whatever means we have to reach you, we'll employ.
Good to hear, Zeus. Thank you. He would what I'm trying to say. Yeah, when Sisyphus escaped from Hades or hell the second time to go admonish his wife, it was said that he talked to he talked to Persephone about it, and she was the one that agreed to it. Or when Hades went down into hell to fight against Cerberus, it was Persephone who agreed to allow him to leave again afterwards, when you're not supposed to leave hell.
Listen to me, Zagreus. Your mother is long gone. You're never getting out of here, and even if you did, what hope could you possibly have in finding her up in the world out there?
I've hope enough. Not that it's any of your business anymore.
Your family is here, and so is your responsibility. You're running from yourself. Though, I can slow you down a bit, I think.
Yeah, perhaps a little bit. Also, she seems really duty bound, so she just wants us to stick around and heal the home instead of trying to escape it. I am the worst.
You're mine. Blood and darkness.
What are you on a intercom with like a police band radio? Like what is that about?
Not again.
Why? Sometimes she's immune when she does that, and sometimes she isn't. I'm really confused about how it determines if she is or not.
Oh, damn it!
I suck. Sorry, guys.
Got it in me after all this time.
Got not too used to the shield, and I was trying to remember too much. I hope I remembered everything. There was a lot to learn about Persephone. Like I said, she was quite beloved, so there was quite a bit of information to go over. Unfortunate, I ended up getting killed. I hope I remembered all of it. If you guys remember any more lore about Persephone yourself, let me know. Talk to me. I'm sure I forgot to mention something. But as I mentioned in the past, actually, wait a second.
How's your endless toil treating you?
Mr. Hypnos, do you maybe think that you could, keep an eye on the procession line before Lord Hades, like you were supposed to?
Yeah, do your job, Hypnos.
Oh, that's no problem. I can definitely do that. I'll just add it to the list.
Good. Then. Glad we had the
she's so nice.
You know, maybe get some sleep or something. You look pretty beat.
Do you want to do his job or not? Yeah, Hypnos. Chop chop. I forget what I was saying before I went and talked to him. Oh crap. I have no idea what I was saying. I'm sorry. I completely spaced out. Medusa was just too cute, too cute for me. She distracted me completely. Oh well.
You don't like it when I pet your other heads, huh? No.
That head gets jealous if you pet the other ones.
Hey boy, just me again. Here to report, it's pretty dangerous out there even without you on guard duty all the time.
The venerable Hound of Hell barely acknowledges the softly spoken prince's platitude, knowing full well the underworld is not as vigilantly guarded as in ages past.
The dog knows. He knows.
Blood and darkness, but this place is falling apart. Nobody works an honest day down here.
Father, everybody's dead. Give them a break.
Yeah, the dead is not a good workforce, I suppose.
What would you even know of honest work? At least the wretched dead yet honor me as lord. I cannot say the same for you.
Wow. Nobody respects me. That's sad to hear. I don't have nearly enough for all this stuff, so I guess I'm saving up. Does it actually do anything? This deep cleaning and servicing of the house? Does it actually do anything? I wonder.
It's awfully quiet here, you know, when you're out and about. Makes me a bit self-conscious, truth be told, seeing as ostensibly I'm the musician of this court.
Yeah, you're the musician. You're supposed to be happy about playing music, but you don't want to because it gives you too much attention.
Look, if you decide to start strumming on that lyre again, I'm sure nobody here is going to mind. Though you take care, okay?
If you insist, my friend.
Play your music. That's what you're here for. Just do it.
Wretched broker, what's new, my friend?
Whew, wow, they want a lot of stuff for all this.
You trying to fleece me here? Here are the gems.
That's enough keys for...
You have
what we're doing.
returned.
I have.
Nix, do you know anything about a softly spoken gentle being under the guise of chaos? They approached me recently and offered me a boon of sorts.
Primordial chaos. Indeed, I know them well.
Of course she knows them. They have the same color
They
scheme.
must have taken interest in your quest. I would advise that you beware their offerings, though know that chaos, whilst a trickster, is not a deceiver.
So they'll tell me truths. They'll tell me things I can misinterpret in different ways instead of lying to me directly. That's great. I love it when they do that. Let's see if we don't meet something of this. Oh my god, there's so many things together. Look at all this stuff. So much. Anyway, as I was saying, I had enough keys for this now, so we'll talk to Skelly.
You know something, boyo? I think you could do a real number on one of these columns, holding up this place and bring the whole thing down in just a few swipes. Boom, boom, boom. And hate to be standing near one of them if you did.
It's nice of you to try and teach me the game, Skelly. I appreciate it.
Finally crafted architecture every chance I get. That I can do for sure.
Anyway, let's unlock this.
This one. Malphon the Twin Fists. Let's say we crack some skulls.
Whoa, those are some paws.
I agree, they look pretty cool. Wow. Interesting. Uppercut. Nice. Oh wow, it's a everything combos.
I'm hit.
That's pretty cool. I like it. Very nice.
The chambers of Tartarus have probably all rearranged themselves by now.
I like it. I'm going to try that out next time. I hope you all will join me for that. I'm sorry I was silent. I don't know what happened. After I just said so much stuff about I had to remember and say all this stuff for the mythology stuff. My mind like just was like, okay, I'm shutting down now. We're all done here. So I think I'll be done. I think I'll be done here for the day. Thank you all for joining me. I appreciate it, and I hope you all have a good day. So take care of yourselves. Bye bye.